Hi guys, it's Shirty and I'm so excited to share with you my core look. These are products that I wear literally every single day and are the sort of staples of my look. So I'm going to start off, as always, you know how much I love Eyeluminator. So we're going to go ahead and apply that underneath the eye area. This is going to make sure that the eye area is well nourished and moisturized. And of course, it's going to perk up any tiredness in the eye area and help you feel more awake. You want to massage that into the eye area with your ring finger because that has the least amount of pressure on your skin, so it's not going to tug or pull. But look at that. And I take it down a little bit just to give extra glow. We're going to go ahead and let that sit. So I'm going to go in sort of with my basics, and this is like a core starter, and then you can add to it. So I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. I'm going to start off with my foundation. You can, of course, choose tinted moisturizer. I love the foundation. It gives that full coverage. I take about a pump and a half, and literally that is all you need. I'm going to warm that up on the back of my hand just a little bit. And what this will do is it gives it a silkier finish, and it's that much easier to blend. Plus it spreads out more too, so you're wasting less product. And then I'm going to let it sit on the skin just a little bit so that it actually has a little extra coverage. So just kind of place it and move it around and let it sit. Then I'm going to take my brush. This is a fluffier brush. It's a fuller surface. And then I'm going to take whatever is left and we're just going to start blending that in. So you want to press it into the skin just like this. And that's going to give you a beautiful full coverage without any streakiness. I'm going to go ahead and take it over the eyelid, and that's going to neutralize any darkness I had on the eyelid as well. Make sure to take it right into the hairline. And of course, this is the stippling motion so that you're not doing the pulling and tugging at the skin or getting an uneven finish by doing that circular motion where you're just literally moving it around, but you're not really setting it in place. So tap away until you've got the coverage and evenness that you're looking for. Don't forget the eyelids. And if there's anything left, pick it up and drop it on the eyelids. We haven't done anything actually with under the eye because we're going to go ahead and let that eye moisturizer, Eyeluminator, soak right in. Next, we're going to go in with a little concealer. And a tiny amount is literally all you need. This is really concentrated, you guys. So make sure you really warm it up on the fingers so that it does get a little bit silkier and lighter in texture. And then you're just going to place that on that inside corner where mostly the darkness is, and then around the outer edge. And I take whatever's left around the nose to diffuse any redness in that area. Now, this next one can vary. I actually do like going in with our cream bronzing contour sticks. And the reason is that once you put foundation on, it just kind of flattens the whole surface. So this one gives dimension and warmth back into the skin. And these are sort of the spots where I place it just to give that added contoured finish. And whilst the concealer is setting, we're going to go ahead and blend this in. We are going to go in and blend the concealer, but we're just letting it sort of start setting so it actually thickens up just a tiny amount. And that's going to give you the perfect amount of coverage in that area. And look at that. You can see the warmth coming back into the skin. It gives dimension. It kind of gives sculpting effect to the skin. And if you're not using a blush, you could put a little extra to give you a bronzed look. And I take whatever's left and snatch the jawline. And then you can take your foundation brush and just kind of blur out any edges. Okay, look at the warmth that's back into the skin and the sculpted effect. Now we're going to go in with a slightly smaller brush, still quite dense, and you're simply pressing the product right in that corner area. You're not taking it into the center because that's where you get the most amount of creasing. And we want to avoid that as much as possible, especially for my mature beauties. I'm 58, so I know that, I've got lines and wrinkles forming, and I don't want to accent that. I just want to make sure that I'm covering up any darkness and just giving a little bit more brightness in the eye area. And once that's all blended out, whatever's left, you're just going to blur edges and take it underneath a little bit too. So now we have sort of the base face already done. At this point, you're going to go in and brush the brows. Now I customize this base look because maybe you don't have any brows at all and you need a little more brow than say an eyeliner or contouring. Totally, totally fine. We're going to go in and multitask with that bronzer and use it as a contour and shadow. I love the fact that this is so, it's just got such a unique texture to it that it literally just blurs and blends right into the skin. It sort of melts into the skin. And it's multitasking, it's skincare infused. You can use it as a shadow as well as your contour and blush or bronzer. Look at that. So now I have eyes already and I can go ahead and put some mascara on, and that would literally finish your eyes. So when you're thinking of like basic everyday routine, you definitely want to have products that are going to multitask and allow you to do a lot with a fewer products. And then once you have this down, it'll take you less than 10 minutes to do an entire look. And then you can always add other colors. So once you have this finished look, you can build on top of that with additional shadows or natural blush scents. Lip colors and everything can definitely sort of change the whole look of your makeup. So I am adding FiberExtend. So if I'm not doing much, I definitely go in with my FiberExtend because it has natural rayon fibers. And this, you guys, is amazing. It leaves little fibers on your lashes so they look fuller and longer, which is great because my lashes are definitely in that phase of looking a little wimpy. So I love this, and I do extra on the ends just to kind of give that flipped lash look. Look at that, how it opens up the eyes so beautifully. And don't forget the bottom lashes. I can tell I was sleeping on this side because my lashes are kind of bent in a little, so I'm going to pry them out. There we go. That makes all the difference. It's so funny how, depending on the side you sleep, your lashes can kind of get squished a little bit. So now, literally all we have left to do, if you're not doing a full-on look, is you can just either put on LipSense Cream, which is what I choose to do because we're going to multitask, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. So I'm going to use this as my lip color. And then we're going to take that same color and we're just going to dot it onto the cheeks and then blend it upwards and into the hairline. And look at that, it just adds a nice, beautiful, healthy flush to the skin. And LipSense Cream is water-based. It does not need to be sealed with a gloss when it's on your lips. And we can take that same color. I'm just going to take a little extra and place it right on the outer corner and just sort of on that, just above the crease, basically. And it just gives you such a cohesive and beautiful finish for your look. And I'm blurring out any edges, not really adding any more color to my brush, but just kind of making sure I diffuse it enough to where it's a soft pop of color. So that is like literally your core basics when you want something simple that is great for everyday wear. And from here, you could add on a glowify stick to give you a little bit more of a lined and more defined eye look. You could even smudge it into the corners. So there's a lot of growth. So stay tuned for part 2 of this look. So with this look, we did our Eyeluminator, which is brightening underneath the eye area, perk up tired eyes. I did foundation. It gives slightly fuller coverage, which I love. And it still feels like your skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel caked on. Beautiful. We've got our concealer, tiny amount, fully pigmented. So it's definitely going to give you great coverage. And then we moved on to contouring, also adding it as like a bronze look. It warms up the skin. And I love the fact that I could literally do this by itself, put on mascara, and I'm good to go with a little bit of gloss. But we did take it a step up. We did include a LipSense Cream for eyes, cheeks, and lips. And of course, you can't forget framing your eyes and making sure they are wide-eyed and bushy-tailed with FiberExtend mascara. So these are the products that I used today right here. And if you have questions on the basics and the starter, just comment match and I'll help find the perfect shade range for you. And if you have any other questions, make sure you drop them in the comments. Thanks so much.